Welcome back everybody to another episode of Thomas Reviews, and we'll be looking at another Blu-ray Masters of Cinema release, and this time it's If, with four dots. For those that haven't heard of the film before, it's a British film that came out in 1968, directed by Lindsay Anderson, and it stars a young Malcolm McDowell. This is the film that Stanley Kubrick saw, which then led to McDowell getting casted in A Clockwork Orange. The film follows teenaged Mick Travis in the boarding school that is extremely traditional and very conservative, where there seems to be a social hierarchy between the pupils and the headmasters and prefects. Mick is a rebellious figure, and along with his friends he starts to take action. This is a hugely unique film and astonishing to say the least. The core of the film is anarchy, and the film definitely goes beyond pointing the finger at boarding schools and traditional ways of discipline. Anderson makes it a much larger story than that, being a criticism of British society at the time. It's an important countercultural film of its time, and it's definitely one that led to influence.
This is where Britain raised its empire builders of yesterday and still trains its leaders of tomorrow. This is the unchanging English public school. This is where you still learn to play the game.
I love films that capture rebellion and anarchy, and I think the film just does it fantastically. Everything in the school is just so traditional, and from seeing bullying prefects to headmasters whipping students through discipline, it's easy to see the film displays a broken society. The simplest way to look at the film would be the teachers are the establishment, the government, and the pupils and students there are the working class people who are being oppressed. And that's one way to see it, that's one analogy. You see it whatever way you want really. But that is definitely the core message of the film that Anderson was going for. There's so much in the film, even sexuality comes into play in one scene in a coffee shop. But yeah, it's a very hypnotic film. I need to see it again to truly absorb everything that's there. It's definitely one I look forward to rewatching, and thanks to its acting, editing, direction, it's very mesmerising in some ways. The performance from Malcolm McDowell was absolutely brilliant. I was blown away by it. He's an absolute magnet on the screen to watch. You can definitely see a bit of Alex Delauric in the character as well, which I heard was part inspiration towards his character in playing it. I had seen the film before a few years ago after watching A Clockwork Orange, and I was really curious to see other Malcolm McDowell performances. At the time I didn't quite understand it, but I still found it hypnotic, and revisiting it was just great. It was good to see it again and truly grip it more. Now moving on to the specs which we love when it comes to Masters of Cinema. And this one is packed out with stuff, more than meets the eye at first. We've got the 1080p transfer, of course, then there's 10 or 11 interviews in here, and there's quite a lot. Some of them are 3-4 minutes long, but there's one in here with one of the screenwriters, I think it is, or the actor, in fact it's one of the actors, and it's a half an hour long, so there's plenty of interviews in there if anyone's curious about the production of the film. Some interesting stories. I haven't watched them all. There's also 3 short films from Anderson made before If, 3 installations, Thursday's Children and Henry. I think some of them are documentaries. I haven't seen them yet. Curious to watch those too. Then we have the theatrical trailer thrown in there. Theatrical trailer. And that's the front, back. Nothing too fancy, but nice image here. Famous scene, you know, holding the gun. And the booklets, of course, which we all love to see. It's a nice image of McDowell on the cover there. Excuse my focus. On the back there's some interesting things here, quotes. Which side will you be on? You've got criticisms against the film, criticisms for the film. But yes, this is a very interesting booklet. I haven't read most of it, but from what I have, it's quite interesting in reading into the film. We have an overview of the film and the 2 loosely based sequels called Oh Lucky Man and Britannia Hospital, which I haven't seen, and I've heard they aren't that special, but I'm very curious to see it, especially Oh Lucky Man. And yeah, there's also a nice auto interview with Lindsay Anderson where he makes questions and answers them. I want to read that. But yeah, the booklet seems quite a good deal. It seems very detailed, And there's some nice images in there too, which is always great to look at. Got a nice one there of Anderson on set with McDowell. Very high quality picture. I'm quite impressed with the quality actually of that. Yeah, some nice images in there. There's another one from Britannia Hospital. One from Oh Lucky Man. Yeah, curious to see those films. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this one. It's definitely a film I'll have to rewatch. And again, every single Masters of Cinema film I've seen has blown me away in some way, and they've all become my favourites. The lowest rating I've given to one's 9 out of 10 at the moment. And yeah, F is definitely one I recommend if you haven't seen the film before. And if you've seen The Clockwork Orange, I'm pretty sure this would be right up your alley as well. Definitely check this one out. Strongly recommend it. Thanks again everyone for stopping by and watching the video, and if you like these reviews, comment below. Subscriptions and hitting the thumbs up button is always appreciated too. Would love to hear your thoughts on this film, definitely. So, yeah, until next time, I'll see you then.